There he is. It's like a sunfish, decent one. Not terrible. Been catching a lot this size. I got a green UV flash champ from VMC, loaded with maggots. I'm jigging in 12 and a half feet of water, with the front moving through this evening. The barometer is dropping all day long, and I've been smacking a mixed bag of sunnies and crappies, including some pretty decent keepers. No true giants, a couple really nice sunfish so far, but when they're willing to eat plastics or a jigging spoon without hesitation, I've got nothing to complain about. I've been out for a little over an hour. I've got 3 sunnies, nice ones, and 3 crappies, nice ones. On the ice, I've thrown back I don't know how many, but we're finally on a good spot where we can really just whack away at fish in comfort. It's not any means cold outside today, but another one. It's sure nice to be able to sit on a spot and catch fish without having to move. Just another one of those nice 7 inches or so. Today they get a pass. I'm really after the crappies, but if I get a nice bluegill, it's hard to throw them back when I'm looking for a meal of fish. So hopefully we can keep catching some more for you. I've got the Sullivan tip down over by the truck, same depth, just pulled it away from the house a little bit, using the truck as a wind block to keep the hole from blowing shut with the little bit of powder that's pretty loose on top of the ice. Hopefully we can get a northern or something, or a bass. That'd be fun. But until then, we're just gonna keep whacking away on fish. That's about the smallest of the day. It's me by myself. I haven't caught anything smaller than that. It's 14 inches of ice sitting in my Freybill. Got my Mr. Heater running, Mr. Buddy, whatever. So we'll check in if they slow down or I get a big one, or who knows what I'm gonna have to do. I think I could keep rolling without stopping and get enough fish catches on video for you. Hopefully some of these work out good. This is the first time rolling on the GoPro ever. I've had that action camera a few years ago that looked like crap, but the only problem with the jigging spoon is it does encourage some of the littler ones to pick away at those maggots, but if you put enough of them on there, they can rip off a couple and you can still have bait. I'll probably switch back over to the plastics here shortly. I've been using Panfish Pirates plastics, Twitch Minnow, trying to upsize. I got the Kraken on right now on my one noodle rod. They seem to like that, but it's a lot for them to pull at when you get the little ones rolling through. But the crappies have been eaten with no hesitation. Sunfish are pecking at it, but we're still pecking away. I'm not going to complain when I can sit and catch fish all day long. I had to look it up. This one, I guess, is called the Tungsten Mongo jig from VMC. I don't even know if I've got it in the frame. I'm sure I do. And I've got a Ripper from Panfish Pirates on there. Got a 4-pound fluorocarbon leader to 4-pound bionic braid from Northland. I really like it for ice fishing. Freezes up really bad when it's real cold, but not in the house. It's a lot of good feel. Got rigged on a 30-inch. There's a fish. Little guy. That's why I didn't really want to downsize like this, but I'm just trying out all the different plastics I can. Rod, I'm using a 30-inch Lone Rock Custom Rods Power Noodle. unfortunately they are currently closed. They have been for the last few years. It's my favorite rod. It's going to be really hard someday when I have to give it to my son, since I bought it with giving it to him in mind. But I love my power noodle rods. Just the right kind of action, the right kind of sensitivity for how I like to fish. And the fish just, oh man, I can't keep him off. That one knocked slack in it and I missed him still. They're hitting it before I can even get to where I'm ready to set the hook. It's been a really good day so far, and like I said, it's not even 11. I've been out for a while. I checked a few different lakes, and it's been a really tough winter. There hasn't been a ton of ice. The ice was really slow to form and get good. So the smaller lakes that did get ice first and now have a lot of ice, where the bigger lakes don't have enough. I was on a small lake today where there isn't usually more than 10 people on it at any given time, and there was over 100 wheelhouses, and every single wheelhouse had somebody fishing in it. And that was at 6 o'clock this morning. So that's why I ended up here. There's a bunch of people down at the east end of the lake, but where I'm at, there's a few houses around me, mostly spear houses. It comes up really, really shallow to my left, but I'm on basically, like I said, a 13 foot flat. There's not a whole lot of change. I don't know what's holding the fish. The bottom's pretty hard. Wow. You can see the action on that rod. One thing when you miss a fish, especially one that hits it that hard, you want to reel up and just make sure your jig's going to hang back sideways, because a lot of times they'll pull the knot sideways when you set the hook that hard. Running my Humminbird Ice 35. It's a nice little starter unit. One day I'll upgrade, but not yet. This one's fine. So, like I said, there's some pressure on this lake, but it's a big enough lake that everybody can spread out and you can kind of get away from people, which I hate fishing on top of people. And I really hate it when they fish on top of me, and so far neither one of those things is really happening. I'm kind of by myself, which is really nice. There's a fish. Drag's a little loose. All the reels I run on almost all my rods are Okumas. I like the Okuma Samar. They're the right size for ice fishing, to me at least. Everybody has their own preference. He's wrapped up real good in the transducer. But like I said, with the ice, wow, that jig is absolutely, open your mouth, gone. But with the ice, this fall in October, a lot of the lakes froze up and glazed over during duck season, which kind of killed my season, the way I hunt. Don't get me wrong, it was still fine, but I'd like to go another month. It pushed out, that cold snap early in the year pushed out a lot of the ringbills from my area, so everything left pretty early and moved through while things were still glazed, so they didn't hang out real long. But the other thing it did is it killed a lot of the shallow weed beds. Usually still this time of year you're able to find green weeds and get on fish in fairly shallow water, and this year, you know, all those typical spots where I like to be, there wasn't any weeds. I have found some in a little bit deeper water, and I have found some fresh growth already starting for next year because the snow cover isn't too bad. We've only got a few inches of snow, which is awesome. And given that it's almost February, fish are starting to move out a little deeper, but everything I've found today has been nice and shallow. I haven't found a true basin where I want to fish yet that looks worth it and unpressured. that's it. Boy, that felt weird. Hook sets are free. You can set the hook on anything. If it feels weird, set the hook. See? You never know what's going to happen. But like I said, I switched to a smaller size, so I am picking up a lot of smaller fish. I'll have to go back to a bigger plastic so I can try and target those bigger ones, and maybe I'll go out and hole hop again. Rip part of my tail off, but that should be okay. Guess we'll find out. Just keep watching my Sullivan tip down, hoping for a northern. That'd be just the icing on top of a really fun morning. If I can get my crappies, my limit of crappies, or however many crappies I decide I want to keep, early enough today, I will probably pack up and go try and find a lake to fish northerns on. Just run tip ups, sit in the truck. Tip downs, I'm sorry, I don't use tip ups anymore. But other than that, I'll check in when I switch profiles again and try a different bait.